Okay, so this is going to be just a quick design test. So we've got two characters here. They're both going to be using Orc Bounty Hunter Fighter 1. Fundamentally working the same. So let's go ahead and roll initiative for this character over here. They have advantage tier 1 on initiative, so it's going to be 1d20 plus 1d4 plus their dexterity modifier, which gets us a natural 1 plus 4 plus dex mod of 2. So 5, 6, 7. So let's go ahead and then roll initiative for this one over here. Okay, so that's a 10 plus 2 plus 2. So that is 14. Okay, so this one here is going to be moving first. They have a movement speed of 15 feet, so that's 3 hexes. Movement is a minor action, so they can 1, 2, 3. So they can't make it over to their opponent. So I think I'm going to have them move 1, 2, 3 more as their second minor action. And then for their major action, they're going to react. So when attacked, they're going to interrupt. Okay, so initiative turn counts. Over to this fellow here. Initiative count of 7, so they are going to use their movement speed of 3, 1, 2, so they're reducing their movement speed this turn to only 10 feet of their 15 for this action. They're going to attack with their falchion, so they do not have any advantages. They do have proficiency, so it's plus a d6, so it's a d20 plus a d6, no advantages, plus their strength modifier, which is 4. So d20 plus d6 plus 4, 2 on the d20, 6 on the d6, plus 4, so that's 12. 12 hits armor class. Okay, that's pretty swingy. If a natural 2 can hit. So we're probably going to want to boost armor class. We don't have armor rules in yet, so this is unarmored. So that will help. So 12 does beat armor class. It does not beat fortitude, which is what the falchion needs to crit. Fortitude of 14, so you're probably also going to want to buff that. Falchion does 2d6 plus strength slashing damage. It is not a critical hit, so savage attacks do not count, nor does the falchion's critical ability. So it's going to be 2d6 plus 4 damage. So it's going to be 6 points plus 4, so 10 points of damage. And so immediate interrupt with the reaction, so that's going to be another falchion attack against the one who just made the attack with due to the reaction ability. So that's d20 plus d6 plus 4, and that's an 18 plus 2 plus 4, so that's a 24. That's going to be both armor class and fortitude, so it's going to be a critical hit. Critical effect of the falchion deals maximum damage plus, so we're probably actually going to need to nerf that because that's going to be insane. So that's going to be 2d6 plus 4 plus 12 for the critical effect of the falchion plus 1d10 for a two-handed savage attack. So this is going to be ridiculous. So it is everything that I'm rolling plus 4 plus 12, so plus 16. Okay, so that's 5, 4, and 9. So that's 9 and 9, 18 plus 16, which works out to 17 plus 17. 7 and 7 is 14. So that's 34 points of damage, which will knock this one unconscious. As far as PvP goes, one-hit KOs are not bad. Especially because, well, for one, that was a reaction strike. How would we counter that? We would counter that with like an uncanny. We would counter that with burning a prowess die. We didn't even burn prowess dice. We could increase hit points. We were able to land a critical hit. I think we need to buff armor class because right now we are unarmored. We also need to buff defenses because it's way too easy to land a critical hit. Here, let's rerun the scenario. We'll keep the same initiative counts. We'll just add 5 to each defense, which the only one that's going to matter here is fortitude. So we're going to turn that into a 19. We're going to turn armor class from 12 into a... Let's go ahead and try it with a +3. Okay, so first round, the miniature with a hammer is going to attack, or at least they're going to move. They're going to start to attack, go forward. So they have the initiative count of 14. So they have movement of 15. So 1, 2, 3. What to do? They're going to burn a prowess die to make a lunging attack, and then they're going to react to hold their action until the start of hold their major action until the start of their next turn. This fellow over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is not in range to make an attack, but he entered the combat space. Lunging attack gives a +5-foot reach, so the other one is going to immediately make an attack for entering combat space. So that's going to be a falchion d20 d6 +4. Okay, 10 + 3 + 4. That's 17. That's going to hit armor class. That is not going to beat fortitude. So that is going to deal 2d6 + 4 strength slashing damage. That is 14 points to our kind of tanky 2-weapon wielding looking mini. So that's already a nasty hit. They still have a major action on their turn. So they're actually going to immediately... No, they're not going to parry. Actually, yes, they are going to parry that attack. Dealt 14 damage, that's pretty rough. So they're going to burn one of their 2 proficiency dice to reduce damage by 1d6 plus their fighter level. And that's a die falling off the table, that doesn't count. So -6 + 1. So this is first level combat, so -7. So they just removed 7 points of the 14 damage dealt. So that's -7 from their HP total. Okay, so they are looking much less bad. So they are both down to 1 prowess die. And we still have a major action on our 2-weapon mini over there. They cannot reach. So they are going to react until the next mini approaches their combat space. Lunging attack ends because it's the start of their next turn, so they're going to move forward into combat space here. Actually, no, they're not. This one's going to play the game a little bit more defensively. So because there is no immediate reaction or interrupt for an attack of opportunity, they are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here, and they are going to again do the hold action. So we turn initiative count back over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then we're going to have a falchion attack against this one, and then he is going to immediately follow that up with a major action of his own, being the falchion. That is a critical hit. That is a 19 + 6 + 4. That is a 29 to hit. Okay. They're going to burn their second prowess die to parry this. Maybe that'll help, maybe that won't, but nonetheless. Okay, so Falchion's critical ability is it deals plus 12 damage, so 2d6, it deals the maximum of that. So we might need to nerf that because that is probably crazy. But so their attack is going to deal 2d6 plus 16. But because they're an orc, they have Savage Attacker, and a Falchion is a two-handed weapon, so they actually deal 1d10. So 2d6 plus 1d10 plus 16, and then we're going to take in the parry after the fact. So that is 10 on the d6s and 8 on the d10. So that's 18 plus 16. So we actually just did that math last round. That was 34. And so we're going to subtract 1d6 from that. 1d6 plus 1 for the parry. That's minus 4. 34 minus 4. That's 30. That's still going to knock unconscious. That was better. I took 2 rounds to go unconscious. That was much more reasonable. Granted, we are testing PvP and not enemies. Okay, so let's just go ahead and knock the Falchion's critical ability and let these two just kind of slug at it. We're going to keep the Savage Attacker's ability from the Orc, so that's going to be the the additional 1d10 on a critical hit. But we're just going to axe the plus 12 flat from the Falchion. So let's go ahead and reset on opposite sides of the map. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 for one minor action. For a second minor action, 1, 2, 3 again. Okay. Do they dash? Should they move? For a major action, they are going to just do the react to hold weapon attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weapon attack against 2 weapons. Okay, that's an 8 plus 2 plus 4. So that is a 10 plus 4, that's a 14 to hit. That is not going to hit the updated armor class of 15. So that is just a miss on the react. So 2 weapons here is going to Falchion attack on their rival here, their clone. That is a natural 20 plus 3. Natural 20s don't actually do anything. Maybe that's what we should have the critical ability proc on. We'll keep that as a note. But nonetheless, that is not part of the current build of the game. So 20 plus 3 plus 4 is 27. That is definitely going to critically hit. So 2d6 plus 4 plus 1d10. So that is going to deal, that is a terrible roll. That is a 3 on the d6s. That is a 3 on the d10. So that is 6 points of damage plus strength modifier of 4. Okay. Sorry, 14. Wait. That was 6 points plus 4, so that's 10 points of damage. Gotcha. 18. So that is minus 10 points. That is still a nasty hit, but it is much more survivable, and a critical hit is not going to one-shot. So, well, this is an off scenario with what we rolled. It might be better to limit critical effects from weapon dice to just being on the d20 rolling a 20 instead of just scoring any critical hit. That would reduce damage, but okay. So that was their major action. These two are locked in combat, but because our 2 weapon did not take the react, they do not have to worry about our hammer mini doesn't have to worry about attacks of opportunity because react wasn't a thing done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's just going to use their full turn. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then they're going to hold for a lunging attack. And so then this one here is going to have to kind of go in. We're going to proc the reaction. And that's another natural 20. Wow. I know we've... Plus a max roll on the prowess die, but, you know, I joke about rolling really well in my D&D games, but, like, that's absurd. 2 nat 20s back to back for the same character, which is good because we've been beating up on him all this recording. So that's another critical hit. 2d6 plus 1d10 plus 4. Another really low roll. 4 on the d6s, 1 on the d10. So that is a 4, 5. That is 9 more points of damage. That would be enough to knock unconscious, but we're going to parry that. And that's a off thing. So parry that minus 5. So that 9 points of damage is reduced by 5, so they only take 4 points. So we have one who is currently 14 points down and one who is 18 points up undamaged. So that was the held react attack. So this one is going to use their next... So they're going to continue moving up here. We're going to have to work out whether or not moving forward is a minor action or not after they get an immediate interrupt, but nonetheless they can spare it and they don't have any other minor action things that they really can do. So they are going to roll a falchion attack with proficiency. That is a 9 plus 5 plus 4. That is a 9 plus 9. That is an 18. That will hit armor class. That does not beat the boosted fortitude of 19. So that is just a standard attack of 2d6 plus 4. I rolled 2 3s. So that is 10 points of damage. Hilariously, the same amount dealt by the critical hit the first time, but I don't know, unlucky dice. So what can they do now? They've used all of their turns. So, I mean, it's going to be the 2-weapon one. It's their turn now. They are going to make a weapon attack against the other one since they're right there. That is going to be a 7 plus 4 plus 6, so a 17 to hit. That will hit but not crit. So 2d6 plus 4, so that's 4 plus 4 plus 4, hilariously, 12 points of damage. That would be enough to knock unconscious. We're going to parry that. Minus 4, so 8 points of damage. That is still enough. Unconscious. That worked out much better. So critical effects should only trigger on a die roll of a natural 20. Then what's the difference? Then why does it matter to beat fortitude? Perhaps there should be a critical hit effect and then a natural 20 effect. I mean, but then that's going to be separating the different degradations of what a critical hit is. I'm not a fan of that. Or we just reduce critical hit chance. Whether that be by... I mean, a plus 5 to fortitude, so instead of doing a 10 plus ability score modifier plus any other miscellaneous effects, that helped a lot. Maybe if we did that as a plus 10, so you had to be a 20, 24 to hit to crit. Because we were rolling. That's a lot. 24. Because proficiency die at first level is a d6. So this is 1d20 plus 1d6 plus your modifier. Average roll on a d6 is 3.5 plus a modifier. Let's just keep our modifier at 4. 3.5 plus 4, that's 7.5. Average roll on a d20 is 10.5. So we'll say 11, moving the 0.5 over. 11 plus 7, 18. So an average roll of an 18. Honestly, critical hit on a 24. If an average roll is an 18, that's pretty reasonable, honestly. I mean, it means you're going to have to roll high, but it's also going to benefit you more from getting different tiers of advantage, because that's going to automatically add a minimum of +1 and an average of +2.5. So that's going to greater incentivize pack tactics and more strategic moving with other members of a party against actual enemies instead of in PvP. So if we set our defenses at a 20 plus 4, so a 24 to hit. Oh no, sorry, a 24 to crit versus a basic armor class of dexterity mod plus 10 plus whatever the armor gives. For our round 2, it would be a plus 3. That's a 15 to hit and a 24 to crit. So you're very likely going to hit with an average roll, which is good because it gets rid of the my attack is done next, because you're more likely to hit. But it's still a chance. So we should have enemy... Can't disincentivize making attack rolls. I'm just thinking about the new Matt Colville designing the game video, because attacking is... I mean, it's risky. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it some more. But nonetheless, this was a brief combat test. So, yeah.